thought process, right?
No.
Yes.
It would just be a chemical reaction.
No, emergent. Okay,
You
yeah,
have no
that's
free
still a
will.
thought process.
You have no free
That's
will.
literally a thought process.
You're at the becks and
That's
whims
literally a
of
thought
your chemical
process.
reactions.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
something
literally
I
a
can
thought
do and you
process.
can't.
Yeah, so your thoughts directly follow from subjective experience.
What's that?
Real quick.
Where's subjective experience in nature?
Subjective experience in nature?
Yeah, where's that?
Are you just
Where's
asking
that?
me what the what?
No, I want to know how I test for that physically. Like, what instruments? Can I weigh it? Can I measure it? Like, where is
You
that?
measure subjective experience. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
calculate
dude.
how many things
Well,
you've
you're the one
experienced.
who thinks everything is material, right? So, where
Did
is
I
that?
say that? I just said it entails that we can still think. Okay,
Well,
it seems like you're not tracking.
no. You're not tracking. So if you're a Big Bang
Okay, so
material,
tell me what I'm not tracking.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay,
You
go ahead.
interrupted
Go
me.
ahead.
So if you're a big,
here like this.
yeah, he's about to get muted after I cook him. So if
Wait,
you're a Big
why?
Bang material,
Why you gotta mute me?
because this is not the topic.
Okay, we can talk about flat Earth. You're the one who wanted to go into this fucking side tangent. Like what? That's just abuse.
You're the one who came in here making fucking noise, cunt.
Well,
Official, can you prove the Earth is round for me real fast? Go ahead. Crazy.
He can't right now because he's been muted.
Oh, wait. Let him. Okay. So, as
Look, he came in here to run interference, so let's just move on from him.
Got it.
Official, you knew this would happen. Why did you do this?
I know. That's what people like that do. Come in and change the subject. Damn, where were we?
Oh, you were getting on to something substantive, right? So you're talking about Chicago skyline, and it's actually there, and he can't have that. He's got to interfere because as soon as you start talking about anything definitive, you have some chump that'll make noise, chew on chips every time.
No, so okay, he's literally just trolling. He has no stake in this whatsoever. I know who that is.
Yeah, I know. So, bye, Charlie.
Yeah, people like you, official. Your people. Oh no, he's gone.
So, what ends up happening is, in this chat, is that if we're talking to somebody, right, somebody that's new to the topic, they don't want you to hear anything we have to say. Literally, I've been doing this for quite a long time. It's not that they're opposed to flat Earth; they don't even want it talked about. The very idea that people are even the idea that people are entertaining the idea in its discussion, they can't stand that shit. So they will stop. They try to stop the transfer of any information, no matter what. That's really what a lot of these people's task is. It isn't to prove the globe. It's to stop the discussion from happening at all. So whenever we're talking to somebody new, that they have to interfere. So we
flat Earth.
Yeah, so we have a Discord, right? So I'll be talking to someone to be a new person, blah blah blah. They don't understand. So at first, they think all these things, and then we're like, okay, we don't think all those things. This is what our position is. And as soon as that starts happening, out of nowhere, an alt account created 8 seconds fucking before joins the chat and says some bullshit, right? You guys can't explain fucking seasons or some bullshit, right? And they're trying to get us to talk to them so that the other person will go away. And that's what happens in here. They try to deflect so that we're talking to them, and then you get bored from listening to it or whatever, and then you leave the VC. They do this all fucking day, every day. Literally every day, dude. It's sickening. So it makes me wonder, like, what's the issue, man? Like, why are you trying to even stop the conversation from happening in the first place? Because if you didn't know, the head of YouTube, Susan or whatever, they had they went before Congress and specifically said that they were going to censor Flat Earth. Specifically testified under oath. We're going to censor Flat Earth. We got to stop that shit. Elves, ghosts, fucking Bigfoot, aliens, that's all fine. But Flat Earth, that shit's crazy.
Yep. You can find it, too. It's a fact. She said it.
You can talk about any topic, but this topic, dude. They've tried to associate flat Earth with racism, anti-Semitism, freaking
Shit.
everything. Every bad thing you can think of that's bad in the common secular mindset. They've tried to associate that with us. Everything. I'm just saying. I mean, it's irrelevant to the facts. I'm just saying, like that's the situation it's in, and I'm just describing like that's what Charlie's deal was. That was the point of what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so things like the Chicago skyline, right? So, which is actually what even made me personally even into this topic is because there was a news broadcast on local news, and it was the weather, and they said, "Hey, this dude Josh Nowicki took this picture of the Chicago skyline from across Lake Michigan, and he said, what you're seeing here is a mirage." Well, obviously, if you've seen the image, it's not a mirage, right? So mirages are inferior, superior. Mirages, you see like a double image. There's no double image, right? It's not floating in the air. There's nothing that looks like a mirage. But it has to be a mirage because it's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be under the curve of the earth. So when I heard that, I'm like, why is this dude lying? Why is he making shit up? And that led down like, the rabbit hole of, like, hold on, man. We can see too far. Is this actually true? Is this like a one-off? Maybe it was like some weird, and it turned out not to be the case. People were taking images from across freaking, what is it? What is the one that's across Lake? Oh, it's Lake Ontario, right? So Lake Ontario, these long-distance photographs in Louisiana, all over the place, right? So there's people going out and they're making these observations that shouldn't be possible. So that's just kind of like the background, right? Of like, and then eventually a dude, because they kept saying it was a mirage, right? It's being refracted up. So a guy named Rob Skiba passed away during the pandemic because they put him on a respirator against his fucking will and killed him. But that's neither here nor there. So he got a boat in Chicago, and he sailed from one side of Lake Michigan to the other and filmed Chicago the entire time while he sailed across Lake Michigan. Disproving the whole mirage shit.
Is there a reason the bottoms of the buildings are not visible?
Yeah, I mean, that's you shouldn't expect to see the bottoms of the buildings. If you just think about it for a second, right? Like, say there was a wave on the horizon that was 1 meter.
Just one.
And the horizon was like, 1 kilometer away. 100 kilometers away, that's going to block 100 meters. Right? Because the ocean isn't smooth. And this phenomenon, right, is like of seeing things cut off. We can demonstrate this on like flat surfaces. You can go to a lake that's only 1,000 feet long and take a camera and stick it very low to the water, and you'll see this same thing. But the thing is, in 1,000 feet, there should be no earth curve. You should see, according to the Globers, right? If it's flat, I should see the bottom all the way across the lake. No, you can't. So when you go do this test, you can't see the bottom of shit on the other side of the lake, even though the lake isn't long enough for it to be earth curve. So I'll give you specifics. So if you take a camera and you put it 1.5 inches off the surface of the water, the horizon should be 2,400 feet away. Now, if you go to a lake that's only 1,000 feet wide, you should be able to see, according to the idea that you should be able to see the bottom of everything, all the way across the lake to the shore. Clearly see it. But when you do this test, that doesn't actually happen. So you'll actually see a water horizon. You can take an RC boat and drive it across the fucking lake, and eventually it'll disappear bottom up. But there should be no globe horizon. it shouldn't be at that distance. That means that whole observation is like what we see, what the horizon is. It's purely an optical effect. Has nothing to do with geometry or anything like that. In short, the horizon's not the physical edge of a ball. Period. And this has been demonstrated 7 ways to Sunday. Skunk Bay, that was just shown. Seeing the horizon too far, seeing the horizon too close. You know. You ever see any of those pictures where they show a boat out at sea and it looks like it's floating above the water? You ever seen one of those? It's called a Fata Morgana. It looks like It looks like the boat's floating in the air above the water, and it looks like it's floating in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll post a picture.
I feel like I've seen something like that once or twice.
Yeah, here's one. Got other ones too.
Yeah, I see that one. But if you look real close, you can still see the horizon.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you take a so I actually have it. So if you take like a negative color filter, because we have the least amount of contrast in blue, in the blue part of the spectrum. If you take another color filter, you can easily see this ship is on water.
Yep.
But it looks like it's floating in here. I got more of the other Fata Morganas. Every single Fata Morgana where it looks like there's a ship floating above the water. As soon as I add a negative color filter, boom, you can see that's on water. Now, this proves that the horizon is not physical, dude. Because you're looking at this and you go, oh, there's the water. It ends, man. That's where the freaking curve starts. Well, that's obviously not where the curve starts. That's just where the surface of the water ends and the sky appears to start. That's it. It's nothing but a visual effect.
Matrix's picture is more extreme. But
oh yeah, I got the negative I got the negative for that too.
Oh, we gotta see that one because
I can just do it right now.
That's the most extreme I've ever seen. Yeah.
Well, you can just look at the bottom of the boat, right?
Yeah.
The bottom of the boat looks like it's in. There. Yeah. But if you look at the bottom of the boat is in water, right? It's fucking. You can see like where the water line touches the boat. Like,
yeah.
Who is this technologist guy? He's not even in VC right now, is he?
No, he's a fake ass clown, dude. Pseudo intellectual.
So here we go. We're talking about all these different points of refraction, but what they don't do is they never affect the horizon itself. Just objects between the observer and the horizon.
But this Fata Morgana isn't caused by refraction. This is caused by reflection. So the surface of the water is so smooth and your viewing angle is so shallow. That's just a reflection of the sky. And you can't tell because you have to see a difference in color to be able to differentiate the water from the sky. But if the water is reflecting the sky, and it's the same color in the reflection, you're not going to see where the water ends and the sky starts. It'll look like it starts somewhere else, but not where it actually starts. Actually, as if it was an actual thing. There's a guy. What the hell is his name? He's a flat earther. He's taken so many videos of the horizon. Like, I remember one video, like, it looks just like a regular horizon. And then, like, it's a time lapse. So, like, the weather changes. And, like, it looks like a hole opens up in the sky. and like the sky disappears, and the horizon's actually way past where you thought the horizon was. She got that video, dude, somewhere. It's a crazy video. I gotta grab it.
Oh, there he goes. Why wouldn't he just come into here?
He wanted you to go to conspiracy because they just spurg out. There's no order. It's pure chaos.
Hold on. Where? Jesus, that like all the way at the bottom? I don't even see that chat.
Yeah, it's a blue anon conspiracy group. They're freak weirdos.
You say blue anon?
Yeah, blue anon. You know the libtard like conspiracy theorists.
So they made a parody of QAnon? Insane.
I think it's less a parody as more as they take it serious.
It's effectively just the other side of the coin type of thing.
Yeah, but we digress. You know, this is the interesting stuff. No conspiracy needed. You are just seeing the boat where it is. Don't you like that? You can kind of wipe away all the BS.
Oh, Matrix, you flushed that dude? Yeah, the technologist, he's over in Cogdis, man. I sent him there for like, I think like a couple days. He's gonna be in there. What the hell did he do? He did something freaking stupid.
So I don't
Why am I
know
not surprised?
what the cunt here. This server. Will it let me do this? So I don't know what's in this video, but I think I've seen this guy on Modern Day Debates. No, it wasn't this guy. I don't know what he says in there, but he apparently has some sort of answer to the, what's it called? Chicago thing.
Yeah, it's what we've been talking to you about.
Simon Dan.
Yeah, Simon Dan is famous for refuting Coriolis with your reference frames are ruined. Coriolis as in applicable to the Earth as globulis.
Yeah, this is the same old shit, what I just described to you. The expectation that you should see the bottom is wrong. We've shown it's wrong experimentally. It isn't our opinion. You can literally just go do this yourself. The idea that if something's flat, if it's very far away and you have a very shallow angle to the surface, you should just be able to see it forever and ever and ever. No, that's not how it works. Because the angle between the middle of your eye line, right? Like say I'm 6 feet tall, right? And I'm looking at a building that's 100 feet away. It's 100 feet away from me and it's 100 feet tall. Okay. The angle subtended from my eye, the center of my eye to the bottom versus from the center of my eye to the top, those aren't the same angle. So if you took this building and moved it further and further away from me, the angle under my eye line is going to disappear, be invisible, unresolvable, way before the top is. There's no way it should happen anyway. It's like the whole idea, right? It's the reason people get this idea, and I know why, is because when we talk about the topic of the Earth, right? They always imagine everything from a third person point of view, right? Oh, what's the Earth look like? And they imagine the blue marble, right? A point of view they've never had, right? They've never seen the Earth from space. It's always from outside, right? So, what things should be able to see forever, because if I draw this orthographic side view, I can draw a straight line to the bottom points of all of these buildings. Like if I like make a little a diagram, right? But that's orthographically. That's not how we see the world. We see the world in a projective geometry. We don't see the world orthographically. And so here's a good example of this is that if I took a parabola and I drew it on the ground with the ends of the parabola, they extend all the way to the horizon. That wouldn't look like a parabola. That would look like an ellipse. So the way we see things is not the way, like it's not intuitive, right? So I mean, the orthographic shit's actually not intuitive. It's just like, hey, if I have this side view, I should be able to see the bottom no matter how far away it is, because I can draw a line between my like side view guy to the bottom of this building no matter how far away it is. So I should be able to see the bottom no matter how far. That viewpoint is wrong. Like I said, it's not just wrong conceptually. We've shown it to be wrong experimentally. Even National Geographic showed it to be wrong. So National Geographic, they tried to prove the Earth was a ball. They have a video. It's on YouTube. It's called Flat Earth versus Round Earth. They go out to the Salton Sea. They take a flag. They put it on a boat. The flag has a bunch of stripes. They sail the boat away. And one of the bottom stripes ends up disappearing. And they're like, yeah, that's due to the curve of the Earth. Okay, fine. But if you look at the video, the horizon, the curve of the Earth that's supposed to be blocking the bottom stripe, is behind the flag another freaking 2 miles. 2 miles beyond the flag itself. So what's blocking the bottom stripe? Can't be the Earth, because the end of the Earth, the quote unquote curve, horizon, where the curve starts, is beyond the flag itself. Dude, you can't be blocked by a horizon you haven't reached yet. Right? So it's been demonstrated experimentally. And I know, like, maybe it's counterintuitive, maybe it's not. But, like I said, geometrically, experimentally, we've demonstrated that the whole idea that these types of views, right, I should see the bottom of Chicago from 50 miles away, that is wrong. That prediction is wrong.
It's just new guy shit. They haven't heard it yet. They haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, go on X, man. They're still freaking in 2015.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in the converse, right? So we've always been saying the horizon's not physical, the horizon's optical. And we've been arguing about this forever. The thing is that they'll say, hey, the horizon blocks things, and that's why the Earth's a ball. But then when that doesn't happen, which is 99% of the time, and that isn't even like a made-up statistic. I have never seen a single image, video, anything where the horizon distance was the distance predicted. Where in any video or image, you can actually figure out what the horizon distance from the camera is. I've never seen it where it is. And you can't even do any calculation for the globe without the horizon distance. It's literally the first thing calculated. All other values, drop, obscured, all that shit are derived from the horizon. So if you don't have that value, derived from the horizon distance, I should say. So if you don't have that value, you can't do any of the other ones. So that has to be correct or everything else is wrong. But even ignoring that, right? Even ignoring that problem is that we see all the time too far. And when we do, they have an ad hoc hypothesis that somehow bendy light is unbending the ball and making it look flat. Fine. Can you demonstrate that experimentally? Because we can demonstrate experimentally that something that you think should look flat blocks things counterintuitively. We can demonstrate that experimentally, but nobody can demonstrate refraction of any sort making a curved surface look flat. Period. Or lift shit up or lifts the edge of something up or any of that stuff. They can't do it in any normal condition. Yeah, you could take extreme situation, right? You could take negative 20 degrees Celsius fucking butane and do it. Or CO2, frozen ice, right? That's like negative 200 degrees. Yeah, you can do it with that. But they can't, or frickin' sugar water. But they can't demonstrate it in a normal condition, right? In a normal meteorological condition where they think it would happen. Just like a normal temperature gradient of like 1 degree Celsius per frickin' meter. Like they can't do that. It's never been done.
Yeah, I asked Jesse about that tank of sugar, and he's shining it in. I'm like, I want a view from like from at the other end of the fish tank, and is it? Can I not see the light that's like entering above it, and I don't see like the strip of light coming down? Is it? Am I just seeing it like a fiber optic, where it's like bending like a fiber optic, but I get the pure image of like what was being projected? And then he never wants to show me that because every angle I see, it's like I can see the whole thing. I
Yeah,
can see the light.
yeah. And what we're trying to do, though, what are we trying to figure out is what it quote unquote looks like, not some side view of how the laser moves through the water, right? So, Action Lab, which is like a science YouTube channel, he didn't do this. He didn't do it for that purpose, but he actually does do it. He takes a camera. He looks through the fish tank, right, the long way through the sugar water. And when he lowers or raises the camera, the gap between, because he had something like that was off, like that's behind there, you can see that the gap like shrinks, right? So it actually lowers the object. It don't raise it up. It lowered the object beyond the fish tank. But their thing is it raises it up. But in this case, it didn't. Brian Lenke's got a video that's called Flat Earth Tests. He finds a lot of good shit. But like I said, I mean, you can conjecture that this would happen, but eventually you're gonna have to experimentally demonstrate it, dude. And no one's ever experimentally demonstrated the horizon moving around. That's for sure. Extending, lifting up, and all sorts of crap that they claim is happening every day, all the time, dude. Like, not just like, oh, it was a weird weather event. And they're like, yeah, this is what you see every day. Every day, dude. Because they have astronomical refraction tables. They say that when you see the sunset, it's already set. They say this is happening every day, all day. It isn't just like this is a one-off event. They're saying your entire world is a refracted optical illusion, dude. The entire world that you see, that you've never actually seen a fucking object in the distance.
Yeah, I was gonna say that a real true globe believer wouldn't even argue this. They would just concede, yes, it's flat and stationary. No, we can never see the curve and we'll never feel the motion. But since we're on the curve, yeah, we'll always see the apparent horizon, which isn't an actual horizon.
Like the flat earth said, it's like the hand in front of his face was refracted, dude. They'll say that if you had a powerful enough telescope, you could see your own ass all the way around the Earth. Brenda said that, like, because when they start going down the refraction, I start asking. I just start like, I know they're gonna dance around, so I just go, hey, at what distance would you have to make an observation where refraction would not be a plausible, could not like it couldn't be explained away with refraction. Like at what distance? 10 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles? I said to Brendan like 250 miles. Like, no. 1,000 miles? No. There is no distance for these guys. So I saw Australia from off the fucking coast of South America. You can explain that away with refraction? Yeah. There is no distance. Because it's not actually even it's not even a physics theory. It's just an ad hoc hypothesis stapled on at the end to make the globe unfalsifiable. They know what it is. We know what it is, right? Which is why it irritates me to even argue about it, because it's just them playing games so they don't have to concede. That's all it is.
So refraction like that is just not a thing that's been tested. It's
No, it just don't work. It just don't work the way they think it works, right? So let's say things like, "Well, did you account for refraction?" I go, Okay, I didn't. How do I account for it?" And they'll never tell you how to actually even do it.
Yeah, and it's counterproductive to their claim. Remember, the claim was a physical obstruction. Now they want to talk about everything else.
Like, if I wanted to account for refraction, hey, I'm going to go out and do an observation. Okay, Globe Earther, I want to account for refraction. How do I do that? They can't tell you. So so it's an impossible ask, right? Flat Earthers never account for refraction. Well, dude, how would we even do that? Right? So there are models. None of these models work. None of them. None of them can make accurate predictions because the air is actually way more complex than can be modeled. Right? So the air is not some stratified fucking gradient. It's way more complex than that. So there's inhomogeneities of fucking different pockets of density and temperature along any optical path, right? So I'm sure you've seen the stars twinkle, right? Stars twinkle because the air is turbulent. And that turbulence makes things move around. It doesn't mean that they're not in their position. So they'll be in a position and they'll move around that position. And so if I took a telescope with a crosshair and I centered it on, say, a light in the distance. Now, right where the crosshairs meet, right, the bullseye, it would frickin' dance around that. And the more refraction it is, the more it'll dance around that point. Now, I can sit there and wait and cherry pick and wait until, it danced around, but it was higher than the crosshair and snap a picture. Or I can wait for it to be lower than the crosshair and snap a picture and then try to reach a conclusion from that moment in time that I took a picture of. But the fact is, it dances around. And without getting super technical, what I'm going to have to do, there's other indications that this refraction thing isn't happening. So, I'm sure you've seen a prism. So what's a prism do? It splits the light into the white light into constituent colors. And that's because refraction depends on the wavelength of light. Each wavelength takes a different path through the prism because it has a different, the refractive index in that wavelength is different for each wavelength, and they'll take a different actual path. And when they come out the other end, it's spread out. If refraction was happening in nature, we would observe this same thing because they do observe it astronomically. They just don't observe it terrestrially. No one's ever seen a blue-red mountain, dude. No one's ever looked out in the distance and said, man, that mountain looks blue on the top and red on the bottom. But we do see this with stars, planets, whatever. When we look out into the sky, there are times where we see this, and they actually make things to telescopes called dispersion correctors. There ain't no terrestrial dispersion correctors. They don't exist because the effect doesn't exist. But the effect is necessary. It's a necessary consequence of refraction. So there's other indicators that say, hey, the refraction you say exists doesn't exist or doesn't exist in the way you're saying. And you don't have a model that makes any predictions that would validate it exists the way you're saying. It only exists. I can actually tell you when it was invented as a concept. It was invented. So there's a historical book called Astronomical. I wouldn't call it a paper. It is, I guess it is a paper. It's a long paper, but it's called Astronomical Refraction of History. Historically, the reason they came up with astronomical refraction was to explain away the phenomenon called a solennilian eclipse. It's literally where they invented it, to explain away this one phenomenon, because it falsifies the gold model, and they have to be able to explain it away, because it's an eclipse where the sun and the moon are both above the horizon at the same time, but it's a lunar eclipse. So how can the shadow of the Earth be on the fucking moon if the moon's under your feet and the light source and the moon are both over your head? That's geometrically impossible. So in order to make this work, the light must be bending in some weird fucking way to make it possible. The globe is like a Rube Goldberg device. I shouldn't call it. It's like they had an idea. Excuse me. They had an idea, and back when they had this idea, things like cherry picking and confirmation bias weren't really issues. They didn't have problems with this. It isn't like nowadays where we know about cognitive biases. They didn't know anything about that, and it just wasn't a problem. And like they spent centuries looking for the evidence to confirm the idea while ignoring all the other evidence that shows the idea is wrong. That's like the globe model in a nutshell. It's effort and confirmation bias. See, so the funny thing is, the devil's in the details, right? But to like a normie, you have a normie come in here, and they're listening to debate, and but it's a lot easier to say, hey, the boats disappear because they went over the curve. It's a lot easier to think, right? It's just no effort in it. It's super simple. They just disappear. Not, oh, the world's complex, the horizon's not physical, it moves around, da 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 da. They don't care about that. They'd rather have the idealized thing, right? That the Earth is a sphere, that a ship sails over it, just goes over the curve, and you see it the way it is. But as soon as you dig into the guts of any of this shit, it just all falls apart every time. Because what's actually observed in reality, I should say this. What happens is all the time, this happens all the time. They have an idealized model of what they think should happen, and they think that that's actually what is actually observed. And when there is an observation that matches that idea, they'll take that. They'll take that observation and say, "Look, this confirms the idea is true." They ignore all other data points, right? All of the anomalous shit where that disprove that idea, and it's just the way it is, dude. And that's what we fight against every day. Oh, if I took 390-degree turns, I'd end up back at the same place, and that's only possible on a sphere. That's some crap I've heard 100 times. And you go, okay, who did that? Nobody did it, but someone could do it. Well, you go do it and come back. Because, like, I don't.
That was a thing that I think I've heard, well, something similar. Not that you would travel, it's something like you take three cities that would be positioned triangularly, and if the angles, it's like drawing a triangle whose angles add up to more than 180 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, 390-degree turns. That's what they say. You take 390-degree turns, which is obviously more than 180, right? And you'll end up back at the same place. Where on a flat surface, you would need 4, right?
I'm not even sure if 390s on a sphere technically gets you to the same place, does it?
Yeah, it'd be a giant triangle, right? It would be a giant triangle on the surface of the sphere. This is what they'll say. Like, people will. I haven't heard it in a while, to be fair. I haven't heard this in a while, but I did hear it a lot in the past. And they would say this as if this actually happened. So they in their mind, right, they think anything that the globe predicts is actually what is observed in reality, right? So they come in here and they'll sit there and just regurgitate the globe claims as if the claim itself is the evidence for the claim. Because they think, no, like if they go look, right? Oh, let me Google that. How many times have I heard that? Oh, let me Google that. They think that they're going to go and Google it and that they're going to find the evidence for the claim. And what they'll find are other people stating the same claim, but they're never going to find the evidence for the claim. That takes work, dude. And you have to drill down to find it because it's just not readily available. Things like, oh, things weigh less at the equator than they it weighs less at the equator than they do at the poles. Shit like that. Okay, where's that data? Foucault's pendulum possesses, this 15 degrees times the side of latitude. Okay, where's that data? Cavendish, the two balls, they move together. Kids do this shit in physics classes. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, where's that data? Then when you go actually look for the data, right, you find all sorts of anomalous shit. Right? So if you go search through YouTube to all the Cavendishes that everyone's done, Cavendish with Christmas bulbs, so it shouldn't work. Cavendish done by physicists with a freaking, like a $2,000 fucking scientific grade device. Fucking doesn't work. They get pissed off and the technician saws it in half because he's so angry at it. Yeah, like if you actually go look at what's generated, right, what's actually out there, a lot of the reality is it doesn't match up with the idealized fucking models that exist. The actual empirical observations don't match. And people, we do it all the time, dude. We talk to people all the time. They'll say, hey, blah, blah, blah. I go, okay, the empirical data is this. They just they'll reject the empirical data for the explanation. They just pretend it doesn't. Hey, these are your people saying that this is what's happening, and you're just rejecting it. A famous was like the gnome. There was like a gnome experiment. So there's this company called Kern Precision Scale Company. They did it like an ad campaign, and they took one of their precision scientific scales, and they mailed it. Like the same scale got mailed from person to person to person to scientists all over the world. CERN, Amundsen Station in the South Pole, Lawrence Livermore National Labs, Los Alamos, like all these places, universities, institutions. In each one of these places, special scientists did measurements with them. And then if you take all the measurements and you fucking graph them to see, hey, does this match the GOAT prediction that weight varies by latitude? Nope. It's not even fucking close, dude. It's not even close. It's really just all over the place. So, and I presented, so Matt, there's a dude, Matt, that comes in here, Matthew Lawrence. He's a professor at a university. Teaches mathematics. I showed him this shit, and I said, Matt, now that you've seen the empirical data, are you going to believe the empirical data, or are you going to stick to the story? He just said, I'm going to stick to the fucking story. And I'll land my plane on that shit.
Well, I have a question about that claim because I'd reviewed an old NASA video, and it was saying that there's, since it's chubbier, like a pear at the bottom, there's more mass there, therefore increased gravity. So it was actually claiming that it weighs more at the around the equatorial. And so I'm wondering, when did the claim switch to the complete opposite claim, where the centrifugal is now lightening the load?
The centripetal force should be throwing whatever body you have, right? Should be throwing it off the spinning ball.
Yeah, but see, the claims are completely opposite now from this old NASA video that Nathan Oakley actually reviewed it. We reviewed it in Discord or whatever, but yeah, that video made the exact opposite. So now I'm really interested in
Really?
when did the claims switch to complete opposite?
It should say it should weigh more at the equator.
Yeah, due to the increased mass of the chubbiness around the equatorial, so like slightly below.
You know what? I think Neil deGrasse Tyson did a mea culpa on this shit, dude. That it's actually would be the same. I could have swore. Hold on, I'll look for it.
I thought Neil
Yeah,
deGrasse Tyson
because
said it's the same everywhere.
Yeah. They like switched up. They switched it up, man. Now it's the same everywhere because of the reason you said. Because it's the chubbiness, right? So it's the bulge, and the bulge has more mass, so it negates exactly the centripetal force.
How convenient.
Perfectly, just cancels out, right? Just like gravity, right? When you drop something, right? Well, it accelerates at the same rate because it's a heavier mass, so it takes more energy to push. It takes more force to push it in the first place, so it just all zeroes out to 9.8 meters per second squared perfectly. Yo, that fucking meme is hilarious. Dude, I'm stealing that shit right now. It's going on X right now, bro.
Steal away, my friends. Steal
I'm
away.
gonna be getting some hate, dude. That's why I'm posting it. Bring it on, dude. I'm out here for the hate.
So in a couple of weeks there, Indio, I'm looking at putting together a server just as a data storage box to make sure that information doesn't go walkabout. As we know, over the last couple of years, things have been redirected, disproved, disallowed, moved, and all the other bullshit excuses that our governments can possibly make. What I'll do is I'll set it up so you've got access to it. So instead of all of us depending on Discord, which seems to be a common thing at the moment, we can actually put it on a box somewhere else. And in my spare time, I'll download as much shit as I can get just to make sure that it's actually physically locked somewhere other than Discord. And I know a few others are already doing that. There's quite a few guys actually that are doing the same thing. I've just got this concern that one day if Discord gets disallowed, that there's going to be quite a lot of data that's going to be lost.
Yeah, I just lost a bunch of data, man. I had a freaking terabyte hard drive die with a bunch of shit I had on it.
Pain in the ass when they drop, eh?
Yeah, it gave no warning signs. Usually I can tell, like, when they're going to die, they start doing little funky shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, man, I got to back this up. No warning signs. Just like restarted the computer, just didn't work. Like, what the fuck?
I was going to say, if you're someone who likes pulling drives apart, change the board on it. It might have shit itself, and the internals might still be all right.
It's one of those retard drives, though. It's one of those hybrid SSD freaking mechanical drives.
I was going to say, if you've got another one the same, swap the boards over. Sometimes you can get lucky. I've seen other ones, and I've actually done it myself. If they're locking up internally, put them in a sandwich bag. Like wrap some paper towel around it, put it in a sandwich bag, stick it in the freezer for a couple of days, pull it out, plug it in, turn it on, and sometimes you can get lucky and they kick into gear. Just if it does start working, just start copying like your life depends on it.
Look, dude, I appreciate your advice. I already tried that shit.
Oh, well, if you've already done it, then yeah, you're old school, but yeah.
You know me. Dude, like, listen, I owned a Nintendo, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I know how to blow in a cartridge and make anything work.
Yeah, I was a Sega Master System, so All the Gen Xers and back end of baby boomers know how to blow on a cartridge and make them work.
Dude, I was the guy, dude. Because back then, right, we'd all go over to someone's house, like smoke weed and fucking like, 10 dudes in the house and some chicks, right? All like we would play like fighting games and football games on the Sega Genesis. But I was like the dude that, like, I had like a magic touch of blowing out the cartridge, man. Which was like good and bad, right? So it's like, be like, dude, I'm not gonna get this shit working unless I'm playing now. Like,
No, I grew up with the Commodore 64 days. So, yeah.
yeah, I went through that too. With cartridges, dude, that used to be so much fun, dude. I miss that shit, dude. There's a lot different playing like multiplayer games with like everybody's there versus over the internet.
Yeah, it's very interesting how people behave when they're sitting beside you. You can give them a good thump if they fuck you over.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, so we'd play like Street Fighter, right? And our rule was nobody can take fucking M Bison because you could just do that slide cheat move, man. And it's like, always someone before that shit ended would like, they'd hover over something else, and right when the person pressed, they'd sneak and grab M Bison, dude. It was always, and that's like when it would end. We have to switch games or something because like a real fight would break out. Because, dude, that is so cheap. You remember a Street Fighter? Like, you can't get up. Like, you just keep sliding and never let the guy up, dude. It's so lame.
Yeah, you slide kick them and they bounce, they fly backwards, lean on their back, and you've already done the next one before they get up. It's shit.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And it's like, in the way it would always happen, right? So, like, people are better than other people. So we always play, like, the winners keeps playing, right? So the winners playing so like someone will be on a good day, right? And they're kicking everybody's ass. So they've been playing like 10 games in a row, and that's always when it happens, right? So this guy's been whoever's playing, they're undefeated all day. Then some asshole, usually the worst fucking person, takes M fucking Bison and smokes them, and they fucking shit flying everywhere, fucking every time, man. A lot of black eyes.
Yeah, we tend to play a lot of co-op games. So like the old Double Dragon.
Oh yeah, Final Fury, dude. I love Final Fury.
In some ways, a lot of them really old games were a lot better. Like even though the graphics is like 1,000,000 times better these days, and I can't knock the games for that, but just the games themselves, the feel of it. The old school stuff was brilliant. Playing them on arcade machines, watching your money go into a little hole, and then just get your 5 minutes of entertainment.
Yeah. I financed someone's Lamborghini. I know I did.
I loved playing Gauntlet. That was good. Yellow was...
Dude, Gauntlet was awesome, man. They had a wrestling one, like a 4-player wrestling one with like a giant button. And like to do the move or like to pin somebody, it's like who can hit it the fastest. There was like blood on that fucking thing, dude. It was horrible.
I think between the ages of probably 12 and 15, I must have went through about 9 Quick Shot 2 joysticks, playing stupid shit, California games, all those kind of things. What have you got to do? It tells you on the screen, waggle the joystick. So you're thrashing these joysticks, mashing the bottom button. Joysticks are not supposed to be a consumable. My parents, I'm sure my old man hated me for breaking those things. And not in temper either, just wearing them out.
Yeah, I think when my kids got the Xbox, they're adults now, but they are like a year apart, right? So we got them at like the Xbox 360. They went through, I think, something like 13 headsets because those Xbox, you had to plug them in so they were wired. They'd always blame it on the cat. Oh, the cat chewed it. Yeah, bullshit, dude. Cat chewed 11 headsets? I don't fucking think so, man.
They're not that tasty.
Yeah, I know, right? Because what happens is because it's plugged in, right? They throw the controller. The controllers are pretty tough, but the headset would still be plugged in, and it would rip the headset, right? So you threw the controller, right? No, man, the cat did it. Yeah, okay. Cat's dead. We haven't had a cat for a month. What are you talking about?
You haven't noticed the cat hasn't been here. Oh shit. But nah, so when I get a bit of coin together, I'll putting together a storage box specifically for the purpose of backing up a lot of the stuff. I started doing it and then realised I ran out of space in a very short amount of time. And I think I got through, on our main server, I think I got through the bottom 5 channels and got onto YouTube and actually downloaded the top tier levels of everything I could get hold of. Any text that was in there, I just basically did a screenshot of what I could read and pasted that as shot 1, shot 2, shot 3. And yeah, I basically ran out of space. So I only had a terabyte spare. I thought, oh yeah, there'll be plenty of room. Most of it's text. Yeah, bullshit. A lot of it's videos. So I've decided that I'll build myself a little storage box.
I'm working on something too. So
just
yeah, I mean, like yeah, I mean, it's good to back shit up, especially the server. I'm glad you're doing that. That's for sure.
But yeah, I don't know whether just to get one of the QNAP boxes and get like a 6-bay QNAP just loaded up with drives. But I want something with redundancy, so I can afford to lose drives, but you pay for it. So yeah, I've got my plan. I know what I want to do, but it's just a matter of rounding up a few coins and doing it. So
yeah, so I'm gonna take all. So I've already started working on it. I just need to figure out a better way to do it because it's not working the way I expect. So I'm gonna take all the videos. There's like 300 videos on Helios channel. I'm gonna extract the audio. I'm gonna upload them all to archive.org, and we'll have all the audio, all 300 plus freaking episodes, so 11 hours of audio. I'm gonna upload them all, so I can. Problem is that I was doing it, and YouTube ended up freaking blocking my freaking server for downloading too much shit or something.
Yeah, you get limited for how much you can download, which is a pain in the ass. So you can sort of do a couple every day, and just every day just go, right, I know I can do 10 of them, do 10, and go and do some other shit. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, also they're assholes, right? So I'm running like a headless virtual, VPS, right? So I got a VPS. It's headless. I have to do everything to the fucking console. So I'm using like YouTube DLG and because it's like, YouTube knows the IP address ranges of all the major hosts for, VPSs and shit. They it was working for a while and they were like, this motherfucker, dude, he's on this subnet. Fuck him. Off. So it was working. I haven't tested it lately. I actually had to take the cookies from my browser and so you can have a cookie file because it's headless, right? I can't go on I could install X Windows or something, which I did do and it didn't work too good. It's freaking super lag. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna just do it manually. I didn't want to do it this way, but I'm gonna do it. Check this out. All the audio, just the audio. So I have there's a program called JDownloader, right? So I can just do the whole channel. It'll go through all the videos on the channel, and I can select all the audio only that is downloadable, right? So I'm downloading directly the frickin' audio from the video.
Yep.
It's something like 270 gigabytes of audio.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not bad, yeah.
But it's like an M4A format, right? So it's kind of suck about that. If it was MP3, it would be smaller. But your choices are basically Opus or M4A. And Opus is it's lossless, but it's a slightly larger file size. M4A is nearly lossless.
Try 4K video downloader or AlvaSoft. downloader.
Well,
Try
do
the
an
trial
entire
version.
channel?
Yeah, you just select everything and just say, yeah, I want to download the lot. Try that. Just do the trial version and see if it cuts it down to what you want. Because I know that both of them you can convert to MP3, MP4, M4A, the whole lot of them. So you can pick and choose what you want. So try those. I use both of them. I've got an older version of 4K video YouTube 4K video downloader that I paid for, but because it's now old, there's quite a few newer stuff that I can't touch. It just has a little whinge. But the other one is Alvasoft. If I double click on that, yeah, it's
I
just called
mean,
Alvasoft.
I don't mind about the conversion. I'll let archive.org convert it. I don't care about that part. The only problem I'm gonna have, like, I had it figured. Now, like, I only started trying to do it. It's complicated, right? So, like, the thing is, now I got to get the metadata. I got to get the metadata through the YouTube API, but I have to download the shit through frickin' JDownloader. I don't think I can download the metadata through that. And then I got to write a script to match the frickin' metadata file to the files I downloaded in this folder. And then I got to take that metadata and refactor it and make it compatible with the archive.org metadata format. And then when I upload everything, so it's just a pain in the ass. It's going to get done. It's just nothing. I'm only bitching because nothing as easy as it seems. Like, I have a good idea. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
No, you think of smart, like, oh my God, this would be so easy. I got this great idea. I'm going to do this. Ugh, fucking horrible idea, and it ain't going to be easy.
Well, just what I did took me about a week and a half, because it's not like you go, right, I've got 3 weeks off, I'm going to do this. It's sort of a couple of hours every day, and what you get done in a couple of hours, when you turn around and look back at it, it's like, that should have taken 8 minutes. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but doing it manually, advantages, things get put in the right spot, you get the right stuff. Disadvantages, I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a balancing act, right?
Yeah. But like I said, that's my plan. So when I get a bit of a storage box that I can put together, I'll probably run Linux on it. I just want the data stored. So if something bad does happen, all you've got to do is hit me up and I'll go, right, the data's here. Whether we go on to another chat program or Discord opens back up and we just start a new channel or whatever, I can just replace everything. So I'm just concerned that we're using all of our backups are not that they're in one spot, but they're using a similar program. And if Discord got turned off right now, just say right now someone turned it off, we're in a lot of hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we start from scratch. I lost the wiki, dude. Fucking the wiki's dead. It's gone. Because, like, I had a backup, and I thought the backup script backed up the SQL database, too. But no, it only backed up the fucking files and folders and all that shit. It didn't back up the actual database. So I actually migrated servers. So after I migrated it, right, so I had backed everything up, but migrated all the files, fucking delete the other server, delete the other VPS. Oh, fuck. I don't have that file, the whole SQL fucking database in the Wikipedia. Can't go back from here. Yeah, it's fucking nuked. I mean, I could rebuild it, dude, like, I don't like Wiki. I mean, I'm like split on Wikipedia just generally. I needed to upgrade to Wikipedia anyway because I was running a version that was way fucking old. And I can rebuild it, but what really pisses me off is that coincidentally, remember I just told you I had a terabyte hard drive die. That hard drive so every single Wikipedia entry had like a video or something that went along with it, and that was on YouTube. So I downloaded the whole video, and I saved, like, okay, so if YouTube goes and deletes, and there was a lot of videos that YouTube deleted, but I had the backup to it, right? So if they deleted something, I could take that backup and actually upload it to the server and host it myself, so people could, oh, this is fake. No, it's not fake. Here's a video, it came from blah, blah, blah. But that hard drive that had all the reference data gone. Toast. I still got the hard drive. It's here somewhere. I like that. The hard drive, like I can buy it. It might be a good idea to try and buy a frickin' hard drive and get the data back.
Like I said, see if you can get another one the same.
Because they're only like $60, dude. They're not like super expensive. It's a fucking cheap one.
Yeah, see if you can get another one the same or a similar model, and just swap the boards over. You might get lucky. It might just be a board that shiz itself, and the platters and that will still be all right.
It wouldn't surprise you, but like I said, it's one of those like Seagate Barracuda like fucking hybrid hard drives. Yep. So it's like SSD and mechanical at the same time.
Yep. So let's just say you had 10% of your data on the SSD. Well, normally they copy the SSD first for speed and then slowly trickle feed onto the platters. So you might get lucky. But yeah, if those drives are really cheap, I'd be buying another one and just going, right, just make sure they're exactly the same, swap the boards over, and pray. You might get lucky, seriously. If they're sub $100 and there's some pretty good data on there, it'd be worth your effort.
Yeah, because I just had it as a backup drive, which is really messed up, right? So I have a laptop, and this particular laptop, you can put 2 hard drives in it, which is unusual for a laptop. So I'm like, I'm going to get a backup drive, put it in here. I'll never lose my data now. Little did I know.
Famous last words.
Well, I mean, most laptops don't have, like, this thing that sucks about laptops. Most of them don't have a space for a secondary hard drive. So it's like, that's a risk, right? I got a laptop with everything on it. Unless you're freaking uploading everything to the cloud or whatever. Like, you're taking a huge risk that your laptop, you could just drop it one day, right? It's just, so I'm like, the freaking, get this hard drive. Should have went with the all freaking SSD. I think it was just getting hot. I think like the heat freaking killed it. Quite honestly.
Who knows?
So I got I got a laptop with a pretty. I mean, for the time that I got, it was a pretty beefy NVIDIA card. So it's like a RTX one. It was like the only laptop that even sold RTX video cards on a laptop when I got it. So it runs kind of hot.
Years ago, when I had the computer shop, 2 terabyte drives had just come out. Everyone's going, oh wow, so what? Problem is, I bought 20 of them, and you've probably seen it how they send that many drives in those foam packs where they're all standing up. Well, anyway, I bought 20 of them, so it was a pretty steep investment at the time. So you got to remember, these things had only been out for about 3 weeks. So I bought 20 of them because I knew everyone's going to want one. I thought, yep, I'm getting on the game here. Turns out that batch of Seagate drives was a whole lot of faulty drives, and they only lasted about 8 months. And all but 2 of them came back. What a pain in the arse. People whinging about their lost data. Sorry, bro. Best I can do is send it back. And Seagate had no problem swapping them over, like, because we were a registered agent. We just send them back, and they go, yep, these are stuffed. It was one of the bad batch. Here's a new drive to replace it. A couple of them they even replaced with 3s. Not that you'd want that much. But yeah, they replaced them with weird numbers and stuff. But it was very depressing watching people cry because their favourite video was on there or photographs of some shit. So, lesson for all those at home, back your data up. Don't just put it on one hard drive and pray that it's going to be alright. Get a memory stick, put shit on there, stick it in your sock drawer. Get another hard drive, copy all your data on that, put it at a friend's house, tell them to hide it. Well. But anyways, them's the breaks.
No, good advice. I'm going to bed. I'll just be chilling. Have a good night.
Night, mate. What do you mean night? It's probably morning for you. Holy shit, Seagate's got a 24 terabyte drive out. $1,300. Fuck it, I'll buy 10. That is a lot of data to lose in one city.